Your next is the next horror movie we are looking at in this Halloween festive season. So we're going to talk about it, and let's get to it. Your next is a horror slasher movie that came out, you ready for this, back in 2011. This movie came out back in 2011. Can you believe that? 12 years ago. Absolutely mental, man, to think about it, that this came out back then. I mean, this really feels like it came out in 2016, 2017, around that time period. But no, it came back way back there. So, what is this movie about? This movie, the general plot of this is there is a family who are very much rich. The parents are very rich, and they come together for the anniversary of their parents in this house that is out in, woodland sort of forest area, out in, out in the middle of nowhere almost, basically. Anyway, so they're there, they have this beautiful dinner and that, but there are people that are coming after them to kill them. And basically it's just a slasher, and then basically, can they survive the night? Can they survive until the authorities get there? That is what this movie is about. We're going to talk about it because, look, I remember seeing this for the first time. I absolutely loved this movie when I first saw it. Now watching it again, I love this movie just as much as I did the first time I saw it. And there are so many reasons why I love this film. And we're going to get right into these nitty-gritties of this slasher film. Because, look, you can have a really good slasher, and then you can have one of those slashers where you're kind of like, really? We're going down that route? We're doing a slasher that looks like that? Like, we've had some recent slashers, like the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Anyone remember that one? Horrible slasher. Like, there have been really bad slasher movies recently. But this one is a good one, and there's multiple reasons why. And the first reason why this movie is absolutely fantastic when it comes to the horror side and the slasher side is because it doesn't go away from the bloody and the goreness that is what we expect in a horror movie, especially in a slasher. This movie is violent. Very, very, very violent. There are some really sick kills I sound like a psychopath saying that there's some really sick kills in here, but there are some great creative kills in here that I just think are absolutely awesome in a way, not in a psychopathic way, but awesome to watch on the big screen. One of them is a blender kill, bro. Like, yeah, okay, you'll think a blender kill? How's that possible? You guys have seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about, where we get a blender to the top of the head, plugged into the wall, and turned on. What is that, bro? That is mental, man. Like, that is crazy. It's crazy good. Like, I just feel like this was a very creative slasher, especially back in 2011, that really showcased you how violent these movies can be. There is blood everywhere, man. There's a lot of blood. There's one kill where this chick is on the ground, man, and he has like this, it's a mix between an axe and like a sledgehammer. And he lines it up as if he's freaking about to like swing a golf club, and he's just straight into the side of her head. I mean, it's brutal to watch because you're like, oh my god, this is happening right now in front of my eyes. But it's freaking awesome as well. And like I said, they do not shy away from the blood in here. There is a lot of blood. We're seeing people get their throats sliced, and there's blood pouring out everywhere. We're seeing people get stabbed left, right, and center. We're seeing people step on nails, bro. I don't know what it is, but there's something about stepping on a nail and it going through your shoe and foot that just gives you the heebie-jeebies, doesn't it? It's crazy. But what I also love is the tension that they built up. Like, from the first scene that you see involving the neighbor, you know exactly what you're getting in for. It's bloody and gory straight off that, and you're like, yes, okay, that's what we're doing. And then they build the tension, especially in the house. And there's this one scene where he climbs out from underneath the bed and the hand comes out, and you're just sitting there and you're like, bro, that is one of the creepiest things ever. It's like super, super creepy. But he's like coming out, and it's just like, yeah, it's game over. It's absolute game over. What they do well as well in this movie is they do spend time on introducing the family and the characters and trying to make you get to know the characters, and seeing like, dude, they're rich people. Like, not all rich people are like arrogant and smug and anything like that. But what they do really, really well is they hide the twist of this movie. They do hide it. Like, in a way, it is kind of predictable, but what I mean by how they hide it is because when you're first introduced to this family and you're seeing them bicker back and forth like families do, no one's family doesn't bicker back and forth, but you get an idea of the older brother who's just an arrogant, self-entitled asshole. And then his bitch of a wife, and you're sitting there like, kill them. I don't care about them. They are like literally belittling everyone at the table. Like they're belittling this guy who makes documentaries. And I'm sitting there like, why are we doing that for, man? Why? And then the bitch of the wife as well. And you're kind of like, yo, I don't care if they die. And then obviously the twist that actually comes when you find out who is working this whole idea of getting everyone killed. Then you're kind of like, bro, I thought he was an asshole. I was a bit harsh on him. I'll tell you what. He is a little bit of an asshole, but he's not like this guy and this guy. These two are like the ones where you're kind of like, absolutely ridiculous. But the twist is good. I like the twist as well. And it made sense to why that twist would happen. But what they didn't expect is the character who absolutely bodies, and I mean absolutely bodies everyone. And it's the character you actually care about the most. And it is the young Australian girl. She absolutely, man. So we learn about her backstory and how she was taken to like this compound sort of thing where her father was very paranoid about the world ending and stuff. So he taught her all these survival tricks and everything like that. And instantly when this stuff starts to go downhill, she's the one that switches on and is like, okay, going into survival mode now. This is what we need to do in that. And she butchers everyone. Bro, she butchers these killers. Like, it's violent and brutal, and it's awesome to see. And you care about her character. You want her character to survive. You want her to succeed. And then when you get to that final confrontation, when she finds out what is actually going on, and she's standing there, and it's a beautiful performance here because just you can feel the tension coming off her when she's standing there, and like you can feel how angry she is. You can feel the daggers that she is giving through those eyes, and it's just very like she's so unpredictable at that point. She is just in full 100% survival mode, and it is insane. And that I love that final confrontation where she's standing there and she's been offered the world. She's been offered thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to just be a witness and say this is what happened, and not be just walk away and be with me and everything like that. But she doesn't. She has morals, man. She has morals, and she doesn't give in to that. But it's absolutely fantastic, and I love her character so much, and just the way that she goes on this rampage. Like some people would be like, "Oh, it's a female. This shouldn't be happening. Like females can't do that." But they tell you why she's able to do that, and it's not like she overpowers anyone. She's just smart in the way that she does it. So, like, you can have slashes where you have this girl who's like 5 foot up against a guy who's 6'5", and she somehow overpowers him, and you're kind of sitting there like, what? How does she overpower him? That literally doesn't make any sense. Biologically, it doesn't make any sense. But in this movie, she doesn't overpower dudes. She is smart. The way that she's able to use what she's learned in the survival compound and adds it to this, like hiding in a particular corner when he steps around the corner, hitting him with a knife. Because she takes an absolute beating. She does take a beating in this movie. It's not like she comes out unscathed. She takes an absolute wallop as well herself. But it's absolutely incredible. It really is. And look, the plot is, it's a slasher horror. It's a slasher horror. So you can't really expect the plot to be like this, really deep plot. It's a very generic storyline. Like the whole idea of it is the sons want the money. So they create this thing and then it's just like, let's go kill this. Like it's very simple, simplistic, but that's what it needs to be. And it's executed perfectly. And that's why I think it works, because if you go into like all these other things and you start weaving in like deeper stories, it's kind of like, it just takes away from what a horror slasher is. Like, don't get me wrong, you can have a bad horror slasher that has no plot, no nothing, and you kind of like don't care about the characters and you're just sitting there and it's like mindless killing. But this one doesn't have that. And that's why I absolutely love it. I love how it's shot as well. I love the editing in it as well. You can see what's going on. You can see it. And there's this one real brutal one. Like, I love how they do some of the close-ups as well. Close-up shots when the kills happen. And there's one with, like, a wire. And it's brutal. And, like, I feel like the way that it was shot captured that moment. Made you feel that tension of that moment. Because you have an idea of what's about to happen. You're like, okay, these are the possibilities I think that's about to happen. And when it does happen, you're like, that kind of hurts me watching that. But look, I think this movie is absolutely fantastic. I think it's a fantastic horror movie to watch on Halloween. I think it is. It's just so good. It's bloody. It's gory. It's got tension in it. It's got cool, good characters. And, you know, a simplistic plot that works. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with this movie. So let me know what you guys think of your next. Did you guys love it? Did you guys not? Smash it down in the comment section below. Smash that like button for me. Click subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, stay safe. Peace out.